Hot springs. There are approximately 150 natural springs around the Steamboat Springs area, many of them located in downtown Steamboat Springs. The first inhabitants of this area, the Ute Indians, frequented the natural mineral springs for their medicinal and spiritual qualities. Similarly, James Crawford, the founder of Steamboat Springs, chose the Yampa Valley as his home in part because of the springs. One particular warm and bubbling spring was used by the Crawfords, later known as the Heart Spring. In 1875, they built a small log shelter over the spring to accommodate bathing. By the turn of the century, a new frame building was constructed. 3 rooms had been added, and the town company hired a caretaker who furnished towels and soap at a nominal charge. As the town continued to grow, so did the bathhouse. Today, the Old Town Hot Springs is a major tourist attraction. Many springs have been lost to development, but several still bubble forth from faults in the earth. Geologists surmised that these thermal springs derived their heat from rocks centered around Hans Peak, a young, dormant volcano about 30 miles north of Steamboat Springs. Faults in the earth are shifting. Occasionally a spring may disappear, then reappear in a different location. Many other springs around the area are known for their medicinal purposes.
Each spring has its own characteristics, and that depends on the vein of rock that it flows through. And water is a marvelous substance, what do you call it, marvelous liquid. It either dissolves everything, including glass, or it interacts with that substance. So water takes on its characteristic of the rock it flows through. Lithia is quite a rare spring. There's one in Heidelberg, Germany. There's one in Ashland, Oregon. And I'll tell you, if you go to Heidelberg, people are bringing their jugs from all over Europe to fill that. I mean, it is. I started to drink Lithia water long before the National Institutes of Health did studies and found out it cured manic depression. If the Indians had been drinking it for several thousands of years, and Mr. Gossard lived to be 94, and I said, I'll take my chances, you know. What the Lithia does for you, you know, and I say I've been drinking it for 40 years, and for me, right now, the springs of Steamboat mean more than the skiing, which might be shocking to some of you, but I ski in the winter, ski quite often, but I drink Lithia year-round. And I swim at the pool every morning, as does Annabeth and my wife, at 5:30 in the morning, and I tell you, if I don't swim, I really don't feel quite right, you know. So I really have a kind of a love for the springs. And, you know, you ask, well, do I feel any different for drinking Lithia every day, you know? And I say, well, no, but, you know, I'm 105 years old, and you never tell me.